right, now that you know my awful Christmas gifts, let's move on. Dr. Melissa Luke joining us from Denver. Okay, we're discussing some of the key steps to finding your career value and why this is important, because when you're miserable, you could kind of make your whole family miserable, right? And we have this great line that made me laugh from your PR person. She said, "'Twas the night before work and all through the house, everyone was miserable, even the spouse." And you have a survey out telling us that lots of people are really miserable, right?
Absolutely. About 80% of the United States is currently unsatisfied with their jobs, and it's running at a really low ratio. So people are just going to work, and I think that they're thinking, well, since everybody else is miserable, I can be miserable, and we're all going to be mediocre, or we're going to be mediocre across the board together.
Yeah, so misery breeds misery, right?
It does.
Is this what inspired you to write your book, Life in the World of Yomo? And then maybe you can tell us also what Yomo is.
What inspired me to write my book is I speak at the corporate level nationwide, and I just started polling people, about 1,500 managers across the United States, and this is a nice random sample, so publicly traded, private, hospitals, police stations, and I basically said on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you hate yourself or your job so bad you have to give yourself self-affirmations in the shower to go to work in the morning, or you drive slow to work when you drive fast everywhere else. And a 5 is I'm just a little too bored to get my resume off to Monster.com, and a 10 is I love my job so much I can't wait to go to work. And I found that we were running at a 6.7, which is a terrible number, and so it promoted me to actually start writing for my college students, because I didn't want them to graduate and get into a terrible work career or work life environment. So I wrote it for them, but then I found out people in their 40s and their 50s really enjoyed the content as well, because we're all just a little off in our careers.
Yeah. What exactly is Yomo, though?
A Yomo is an avatar that I created to make looking for a job more exciting. Most career books that I've read are extremely boring. They'll tell you to write a resume and to go network at functions, and it's just is boring, and I'm not a boring person, so I wrote this to do more of an avatar. So a Yomo is a cartoon character that we take a lot of steps and characteristics and traits, and we put it inside this cartoon character to have a visualization of what we want to move forward to. So we may not be where we want to be, but this gives it a fun outlook on how to look forward to that and move to a different state or a state of mind so you can get a different career.
And what are some of those steps that avatar Yomo should take?
Well, they're fantastic steps, because a lot of them we don't even talk about in college, and we don't even talk about in the career books. But one of the steps is we really focus in on what does our perfect life look like with a career and a family in balance. One of the areas that we don't even cover in school to tell people is when you go have a career, you have a little bit of an issue with your family. If you work 90 hours a week, you're probably going to be very unhappy at home, or at least your spouse is going to be unhappy at home, or your children. So one of the steps that we put in the Yomo is what does your family look like versus your career? And then we put some personality traits in. We steal some mentorship. We steal a lot of traits from other people that we perhaps don't have, and we put it in this Yomo, and then we start building a career outside of it.
Got it. And then you also say here, rank your career satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm sorry?
You also say here, rank your career satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 10. Write down how much you make per year.
Exactly. That's the model that I teach people. If we don't know if you really need a new career or not, or maybe you just need to transition someplace different in your company. Typically, it's a mindset that you need to build to look forward to what you want. So what we do is we go back to the 3 steps that I use, or tell people, rank yourself on that 1 to 10 scale. Then second, write down how much you make every single year. So if you're ranking at a 6.7 and you make $50,000 a year, that directly tells me how much your happiness is worth to you. So if you make $250,000 a year, but you're ranking at a 5, you're willing to give up your happiness for $250,000 a year. So basically, you got to look at how much is your happiness worth to you. And if you're ranking underneath an 8, it's time for you to look for a different career or a different job positioning, because not only are you making your family unhappy, you're not showing your children or your spouse that you can do something well, but you're also making the people inside your company miserable as well. If you're going to work and you're unhappy, you're going to make those people around you unhappy, which isn't good for a corporation. So it's just time for a move.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. How happy are you based on what you're making? And honestly, sometimes the bigger the salary, the more happy maybe you can be because life becomes a little easier, right?
I would say no. I think a lot of people...
answer, but I know a lot of people stay in their jobs because of the paycheck.
Exactly, and in fact, in my book, I don't mean to demean people, but I said if you're happy with your big lovely mansion and your nice car that costs $200,000, but you hate your job, you may very well be an idiot. So it's not something that I mean to be rude to people, but honestly, money does not make most people happy. If you review most of the most successful people in the world, they will point blank tell you money is not the driving factor for what they do. So it shouldn't be for anybody. It should be something that you should be happy with what you're doing.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Melissa Luke, career coach and author. Your book, 12 Steps to a Perfect Career, is on the screen.